Part of what I found really interesting about Trump in some ways was that he's ideology free in many ways. He's basically happy to do whatever helps him in whatever way he thinks he needs help at that point in time. I noticed, for instance, during the pandemic, at the height of the pandemic, he was on the stage at the press briefing room, and there was a reporter that asked something about expanding Medicare during the pandemic as a national health emergency and giving everyone health care. And he literally said, he uttered the words something, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, yeah, I guess we could just give everyone health care. Well, couldn't we do that? And he just turned to someone and they just nodded. He was the first Republican, well, he's the first president to do direct cash stimulus checks. He ran on providing health care for everyone. Of course, he ran on taking Obamacare out, but bringing in his own health care didn't work. He ran on infrastructure, which didn't pass. But the Republican Party now, it's gone back to being a little more Tea Party back now. They're worried about the deficit, that kind of thing. So I just want to know if you could comment on what I see as a sort of duplicitous nature of the Republican Party, how they support an agenda with a Republican president and then completely go the opposite way. How is that sustainable?
I mean, the Republican Party, unlike the Democrats, they've had something where they're like right wing, took over. So they just go to like whatever is winning. Like most of the Republican Party establishment hates Trump, but if he wins that
See, when we mentioned vote blue no matter who, there was no equivalent on the right. They didn't have to be. Everyone was on the same boat. They were like, we're going to vote Trump no matter what. And he got 7 million more votes this time around. He would have the most votes for anybody other than Biden.
So the thing is, there's this Princeton study which showed that basically whatever Americans believe, Americans support single-payer healthcare. Obviously, it's stupid if you try to even deal with an insurance company for something basic
all
there.
It's direct ballot issues.
Yeah.
All 60-70%.
So there's a Princeton study that said basically what they support has no correlation on what is actually passed, but what corporations support is a very high correlation. So elections are almost they're just media. They're it's a circus. It's entertainment, and Trump is an entertainer. So people just vote for someone who's entertaining. They're not going to get anything anyway. Either way, they're going to be screwed. So they just vote for someone entertaining or someone. And of course, there is just a deep thread of racism. The place was, they call themselves an old democracy, but in truth, Sri Lanka is an older democracy.
Much older, yeah.
They didn't have universal suffrage until the 60s. Their founders were black people. So it was a white totalitarian state for a long time. And a lot of what's coming up is they have these waves of racial violence. Reconstruction after the Civil War, there's a wave. There were black people in the Senate then, and then there's a wave of rolling that back. And then now what's happening is, you got Obama as president. People are like, oh, it's going to be black future. Everybody's going to be okay. There's a wave of rolling that back. This is cycles that they go through, or any country has with racialized violence.